I'm Melanie with Rich Girl Network.tv, and such a pleasure to be speaking with the two of you.
Hi, Melanie. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. I want to thank both of you for being part of such an important film. I think that this film is very, very important, especially right now. And with that being said, my first question is really directed at either of you who'd like to take it. How do you believe, or how do you feel that this film pushes forward the conversation of police brutality?
Well, I feel like Nate did a really good job, and we've both been saying this, is Nate did a really good job of showing both sides on the screen. And that's why I think that there hasn't been a movie like this and a conversation where you see both sides. And hopefully with the movie, it creates a healing between both sides, between law enforcement and the Black and brown communities. And we can get together and talk. And so that's the hope of this film. And that's really what we're trying to do. And that's why I think it's different in that regard.
And I think it was so well executed as well. My next question is for Vanessa in particular. From a parent's point of view, how do you feel as though we can balance our goal to protect our children, but then also to allow them to be their own person and discover their own way?
Well, now, kids are the strongest when they have knowledge, and when they have support. When you give the kid the truth and you allow them to express themselves in a respectful way, that leads them to a path of always being honest with their feelings and the truth. Little things like sprinkling in, like listening and, just understanding of other things. What I mean by listening, he wasn't listening to his father, So the balance is, yes, I've empowered you, but when I say shut up and sit down, because you still are the kid and I still am the parent. And not to be disrespectful, because I believe children deserve respect, but also I do know what's better for you at this time. So don't buck me on it. Don't do this on it. So if I asked you to put the phone down, not that it was his fault, because it was not that young man's fault he died in this movie, because we all know that this happens too often and we have our rights. But listening is very important, to teach your child how to listen and how to be obedient. I mean, we have to learn how to be obedient in God. You have to learn how to be obedient with a parent. Obedience doesn't always mean that it's right, that you're wrong, that, that you're surrendering all your power. In this case, obedience would have saved his life. But he wasn't being disobedient because he was, being a bad kid, because he was empowered. He said, I have the right. I have the right. I have the right. Yes, you do, but you're not listening to me right now. So it is a very tricky balance, because we want to empower our kids. Like I have two daughters, and Lord knows all the power and strength I've given them has come right back on me with that mouth and this, and I have to remind them, yes, I've empowered you, but this is the time for you to shut up and sit down.
Did either of you learn anything new about yourselves through this experience?
That's a really good question. That's the first time we've gotten that one. Two things. One is, prior to this movie, I would see headlines and I wouldn't watch the video. And I think my way of coping with it was, if I don't watch it, if I don't read about it, if I don't know the details about it, maybe it didn't happen. That's my way of coping with it, right? As a young Black man, I don't want to believe in the America that this is the America that I live in, that this occurs. And I feel like God said no. You know what I mean? Just because you ignore it doesn't mean it's not real. And not only are you not going to ignore it, but I'm going to use you as a tool to change it. I'm going to use you as a mouthpiece. And so I think this movie has empowered me to press into the issues, to keep fighting them head on, and to be bold about it, because that change comes from that boldness, as you see with Nick Parker and his resume. And that's a takeaway for me.
I wasn't, on the set, unfortunately, as long as Shane, so he had more wonderful experiences to pull from, but my day was very gratifying. So I'm really grateful for the day that I did have. And the one thing that I did learn, that I was more grateful for, I guess I could say, is that Nate really took the time to work with me, actor to actor, director to actor. And I've been in this game so long that people let you come in, a lot of directors, they're just worried about traffic. I've worked with so many directors who are traffic directors, really. They just want to get the camera right, they want to get the lights, they just want you to move here, da, 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 da. But he wanted to do the work. And as an actress and a theater actress, and as somebody who directs as well, I appreciated him taking the time to really work with me in all of those entities to help me, just make sure that I was the best that I could be. So that when I saw myself, I wasn't gonna go like, I wish I would have did that. Because that happens. Because a lot of times people aren't they like, oh, they hire you because they know you're good, which is great. That's a compliment. But you can work with me. I can take constructive criticism. If you see something I don't see, please help me. I don't want to look at myself and go like, did that a little better, you know? So I appreciated, and that's what I was grateful for that day. And my experience I took out, I was just grateful that he took the time, that he cared enough about me as an actress, cared enough about his project, first of all, and just cared about the process enough. Let's talk this through. Let's work this through. Let's work this through because there's no small parts. There's only small actors. Every moment is important in a film. Every word comes out your mouth should be different than the next word. Every sentence should not duplicate the next sentence. It's all multi-layered and multifaceted. And I appreciated that he knew that as a director actor and was able to relay that and work with me on that.
Thank you both. I think we're approaching the end of my time, but I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you.